Usyk might just retire. He might retire.
But do you think Parker has a chance? The second part of the question was, do you think Parker has a chance in that fight?
Slim and none.
Right.
Slim and none. I don't see, as I said before, I don't see who beats Usyk. He's a brilliant all-rounder.
Joseph Parker has been patiently waiting for his chance to face the undisputed heavyweight champion, Oleksandr Usyk. But now, he's done staying quiet.
It was great to see him win and become two-time unified undisputed champion of the world. And just waited for my opportunity. I'm going to wait for my opportunity and see if he does give it to me, you know. And hopefully we can get in the ring and share the ring together and, you know, have a great fight.
In a bold statement, former world champion Joseph Parker has accused Oleksandr Usyk of dodging him in the ring. Parker claims Usyk has been deliberately avoiding his mandatory WBO title defense, refusing to engage in negotiations or lock in a fight date. The accusation comes hot on the heels of Usyk's commanding victory over Daniel Dubois. Yet, instead of facing Parker, the Ukrainian champion seems more interested in chasing other high-profile opponents.
Do you think that this fight happens, Addy? And if you do think it happens, do you think Joe Parker is in a position to go into that fight and be successful, not only given the fact that Usyk reigns supreme, but Joe Parker's fought one round in, what, 18 months now?
Yeah, no.
He has to have a better preparation than just going against Martin Bakole, doesn't he?
100%. I don't think it happens, but let's play devil's advocate and say it does happen. If it does happen, it will happen in a minimum of 7 months. Usyk's not fighting again until December, the start of next year.
Right.
So that would mean Joseph Parker's not fought for a year. And as you said, that would be one round of boxing
in nearly 2 years.
Nearly 2 years.
Yeah.
Following Usyk's knockout win in London last month, the WBO wasted no time, officially ordering him to defend his heavyweight title against Joseph Parker. The countdown began on July 24th, giving Usyk until late August to strike a deal or face a purse bid. But since then, there's been nothing but silence. Parker's promoter, David Higgins, has revealed that Usyk's camp hasn't made any contact or shown any intention to move forward with the fight.
I don't know if you saw the post-fight interview I did.
I did.
And Chisora was trying to like just nag me. He was right. And I'm thinking, where are you, Parker? Like, you know, sometimes you've got to be, you know, he's nice, Parker. Sometimes I almost feel like you've got to go out and get it. Like, look at Daniel Dubois, the way he stormed the ring.
Yeah, he grabbed the mic off
you.
you.
Got the fight. Got the fight, didn't he, though? Got the fight. And I was thinking, Parker, this is your time now. Get into the ring and scream. I'll give you the mic. Because if I look into his Parker, I'm like, okay, yep, you deserve it. Go and say what you want to say. I just, you know, I don't see Oleksandr Usyk fighting him. I see Oleksandr Usyk saying, I've done that undisputed, take the belt, I do what I want to do. You're not forcing me to do what I don't want to do. And I saw Ajit Kabayel there as well. Fight Parker.
Or you, yeah, fight
Parker. Like literally both of you fight each other, and then the winner, like, there's so many fight cards. I mean, that is a fight card within itself. You fight Parker in September, October, you both, you know, are busting a gut to fight. The winner fights Usyk in February.
This silence has only intensified speculation that Usyk is chasing a bigger payday elsewhere, possibly planning to sidestep Parker entirely. Saudi financier Turki Al-Ashik's recent remarks didn't help either. He outright dismissed the idea of a Usyk versus Parker showdown, further fanning the flames. Many now believe that Usyk, comfortably enjoying the perks of being world champion, is more focused on securing high-reward fights than fulfilling his mandatory defense against Parker.
Good, man. Nice.
Yeah.
Very good.
Thank you.
That was a good can?
Yeah, I was gonna get
Everything's good.
Parker's promoter, who has been in regular contact with Frank Warren, revealed that there's been absolutely no movement in negotiations. As of a few days ago, no discussions had even begun, and it's still unclear if Usyk intends to engage at all. This continued silence has only fueled growing speculation that the Ukrainian champion is deliberately steering clear of Parker. Despite the New Zealander's impressive winning streak and current status as the interim WBO heavyweight title.
The best Joseph Parker we saw was a Joseph Parker that was busy, that was fighting every 4 or 5 months. The same with Daniel Dubois. The best Daniel Dubois we saw was Dubois that had those back-to-back fights with Miller, Hergovich, AJ, and then he had a long time out, and then we saw his performance Saturday just gone. So if I'm Joseph Parker, I just accept that Usyk's going to vacate, and I fight the next man up.
Right.
Or have a stay busy fight. These fighters, and I saw Kabayel ringside as well. These fighters all can't be waiting for Usyk.
The situation has become even more tangled as speculation grows that Usyk's next opponent could be none other than WBC heavyweight champion Tyson Fury. Fury's name continues to dominate conversations among boxing analysts, with many, including former super middleweight champion Richie Woodhall, insisting he's the only fighter capable of matching Usyk's technical brilliance. Woodhall explained, Tyson Fury is probably the one guy who could beat Usyk. Fighters like Joseph Parker and the young prospect Moses Itama are talented, but I think Fury is the real test. Meanwhile, some experts believe Usyk's reign as undisputed champion might be nearing its end for an entirely different reason: his age. At 38, the Ukrainian star faces growing pressure to consider retirement before the physical toll of the sport catches up to him. Renowned trainer Robert Garcia, who has worked with some of boxing's biggest names, suggested that Usyk might be wise to step away while still at the top. Garcia praised Usyk's incredible achievements but cautioned, "He's done everything there is to do. It's better to walk away as a champion than to risk your legacy when your body starts to fade."
I would love to see him retire the way he is right now on top of the world, because if he goes in there, like I said, I think he has no problem with Parker, but it's still going to be tough. It's still going to be difficult. His body's already taking a lot. He's 38. We're going to end up seeing him. If he continues fighting, we're going to end up seeing him against a young lion, totally dominating him because of his age, because of his body already. There's a lot of tear and wear in his body. And we're going to see a sad ending where that's what we're going to remember. I would love to remember him as the greatest of all time, because he's showing to be one of the greatest of all times. I would love him to retire now and just call it quits and be remembered as one of the greatest of all times. I know there's so much money out there. There's so much, big fights, and it's tempting, to anybody. So I can't blame him either. I can't blame him for not wanting to continue fighting, because he's still on top of his game. He could still dominate many of those fighters, but sooner than later, his body is not going to respond. His body's gonna be tired, and we're gonna see maybe a sad ending. And I would hate to see that with Usyk.
Despite the growing whispers about retirement, Usyk's attention appears firmly fixed on what comes next. If he decides to continue his career, all eyes are on who will step up as his next challenger, while Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua remain the biggest names in the mix. The question of a long-awaited clash with Joseph Parker still lingers. Andy Lee, Parker's coach, has made it clear where he stands. His fighter deserves the next title shot. Lee has openly voiced his frustration over the delays in securing Parker's opportunity, insisting that the Kiwi heavyweight has more than earned his place in line. Joseph has done everything asked of him, Lee said. He's beaten top-tier opponents, Martin Bakell, Jilla Jong, Deontay Wilder, all back. He's proven he belongs at the very top, and it's time he gets the shot he's been patiently waiting for.
Different to fight. It's for the vacant title. Whoever, could be forever. If it's a vacant title, who are the contenders? Hergovich if he wins, Moses if he wins, Dillian White if he wins.
Do you like the fight against Moses?
For me, Moses is the future of the heavyweight division. For Moses, it's a risky fight. For Joe, it's a risky fight because there's no upside to beat Moses for Joe. There is. He's building his name. He's a significant heavyweight now, Moses. But he's an up-and-coming guy, and Joe's already at the top. So there's a risk for Joe, but there's a risk for Moses that he fights Joe, and there's never the same again coming back from it. If Joe has his way and if we have a way. But it's a risky fight for both men, and it's an exciting fight. Maybe it's for the vacant title. It would be worth it. It'd have to be worth it. You know what I mean? So.
While Tyson Fury might be seen as the ultimate challenge for Oleksandr Usyk, there's no denying that Joseph Parker poses a serious danger of his own. Boxing analyst Chris Algieri has pointed out that Parker's style, power, and resilience make him a genuine threat to Usyk's dominance in the division. According to Algieri, Parker's recent performances have shown a sharper, more confident fighter who could give Usyk real trouble inside the ring, especially with his improved timing, movement, and ability to apply smart pressure over 12 rounds.
A lot of experience. He's a former world champion. He's big for the weight class. He's athletic, and he's coming off a 3-fight win streak that rivals any one of the top contenders right now. He KOs Martin Bakell in his last fight. He beat Zhilei Zhang before that, and Deontay Wilder before that. If anyone deserves a shot, it's Joseph Parker, and it's just unfortunate for him. He always seems like the guy who's on the outside looking in, doesn't ever get that shot. So I do think he deserves it. I also think it's a dangerous fight. Does he have enough to beat Usyk? I don't think anybody beats Usyk. So that's where I'm at. But I don't hate the fight.
But time is quickly running out for Joseph Parker's long-awaited shot at Oleksandr Usyk. If the Ukrainian champion continues to sidestep negotiations, Parker may be forced to look elsewhere, and rising heavyweight prospect Moses Itama could be next in line. Itama, the young powerhouse already making serious noise in the division, is seen as one of boxing's brightest future stars. A potential clash between Parker and Itama would be massive, a true crossroads fight. For Idema, it could be the breakthrough moment that launches him into the elite ranks. But for Parker, it carries huge risk. One wrong step, and his long path back to a world title shot could be derailed completely.
So, we've heard a lot about your name being called out. Most of the time has mentioned your name recently. What's next for Joe Parker? Obviously, you're coming off a lot of momentum. You've made your own here in Riyadh season. What's next for you?
I've been training since April in New Zealand with George Lockhart. As soon as we lock in the fight, I want to be hitting over to Ireland to train with Andy Lee and George Lockhart together. So there's nothing in the works yet. We're just waiting patiently. I'll fight anyone. I think Moses Atuma did. There's something about Moses Atuma, but there's no real point for me going down and fighting Moses. What's the benefits? I'd rather fight someone like Shang wants a rematch. There's Martin McCauley. There's who else? Arjun Carbayel. There's Usyk. Well, all those guys are quite busy, but anyone in the top 5 or top 10 would be awesome.
While a Parker versus Atuma matchup would undoubtedly excite boxing fans, many believe Joseph Parker has already earned his rightful shot at Oleksandr Usyk. With years of experience, a world title on his resume, and a string of dominant victories, Parker has proven he deserves another chance at the top. Yet, uncertainty still clouds the picture. Usyk's continued reluctance to enter negotiations has raised real concern that Parker's long-awaited opportunity could slip away entirely. For a fighter who's fought his way back into contention, with grit and consistency, being sidelined now would be nothing short of a major injustice, and a huge disappointment for boxing fans around the world.
Now, given that you are such an admirer of his, and you appreciate his skill, because you're an appreciator of skill, what makes you think that you've got the toolkit to dethrone him?
I believe wholeheartedly in my ability and what I can do in the ring. I have full confidence that give me a good camp or give me some time to put in the work with Andy Lee and George Lockhart. I want to come up with a good game plan, probably different to everyone else's one, and just work hard.
With the deadline for Usyk's mandatory defense against Joseph Parker fast approaching, the pressure is reaching boiling point. The champion must now decide, step up and make a deal, or risk the WBO sending the fight to a purse bid. If Usyk refuses to defend his title against Parker, the organization could be forced to consider other routes, possibly stripping Usyk of the belt and sanctioning a vacant title fight instead. In that case, Parker could find himself facing a new opponent, perhaps the rising powerhouse Moses Idema or another top contender. For now, all eyes are on Usyk. Will he accept Parker's challenge and prove he's willing to defend his crown against all comers? Or will he chase a bigger payday elsewhere, leaving the door open for a new heavyweight king to emerge?
But given you have had one round since March 24, is it the right move for you to take this opportunity rather than having a fight in between it to get yourself into a situation where you're really in the zone?
That is a good question, because I've had one fight in 2024, one this year, and activity is key, and he's been very busy, Usyk.
What is the reason behind you only having one round, Joe? Like, politics of the sport?
I have no idea.
You've been knocking on the door, you
I've
wanted
been
the
knocking
opportunity.
on the door, I've been asking for any fight and every fight. Who knows? Right?
As for Oleksandr Usyk, he remains firmly at the top of the heavyweight mountain, but the question now is, how long can he stay there? The division's most dangerous contenders are circling, and the pressure is mounting for him to either retire as a legend or defend his throne against the likes of Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, or Joseph Parker. Many already regard Usyk as one of the greatest technicians ever to step into the ring, but the choices he makes in the coming months could define his legacy forever. If he bows out now, he leaves the sport on his own terms, undefeated, undisputed, and untouchable. But if he continues, his reign could face its toughest test yet. Meanwhile, Joseph Parker is more than ready for his shot at glory. Whether it's Usyk or rising star Moses Itoma, the Kiwi heavyweight is eager to prove he belongs among the elite. Still, a showdown with Usyk remains the fight fans around the world are desperate to see. Will Usyk accept the challenge or take a different path to protect his legacy? The clock is ticking, and the boxing world is waiting for his move.